man. Alright everybody, welcome to the channel by the way. I am WeSkillNow. Nice to have you. You are an end game player. You've been grinding all your stuff and you feel a little lost. There's too much to do and nothing feels like super satisfying. Well, I made a list for you. The top 10 goals for end game players. This video is part of a series. I made a video for early game players. I made a video for mid game players. This one is where the hours really start to bloat and you realize that you're playing a ridiculous MMO that has content that will last you thousands of hours if you really want to go that deep. So you might be watching this and you're an end game player, or you just like my voice, you watched the early game goals, you watched the mid game goals, and now you're here. If that's you, welcome, what's up? Now, while I've got your attention for a second, please click over to the YouTube video and click the red subscribe button, turn it gray. I would really appreciate that. And now, what's the point of this video? I'm not making this list in order to judge your own progress in the game or judge other people's progress. The journey in RuneScape is totally personal, and you know, if you want to consider yourself an endgame player, go ahead. You know, if you don't meet everything on the mid-game goal list from the other video, I'm not gonna not call you an endgame player, right? Whatever. The point of this video, the purpose of this list, is to help people get some ideas on what they should be going for or accomplishing, or some useful things that they could do that they can spend their time on once they're done with like what feels like all the mid-game stuff. This list also goes in order of generally easier things to harder things at the end. And then at the end of the video, we've got the insane list as well. So stick around for that. Now, I think one really cool community thing that we can do on this video is if you're working on something on this list, go ahead and write down your goal in the comments below, and also write down when you want to accomplish it by, because that's seriously gonna help you actually achieve your goal. If you go and complete your goal, please come back to this video and write in a reply to your comment that you did it, and I would be so amazed that you actually used it as a checklist, and I would love that. That'd be so cool, and I'd be so happy for you. Now let me show you this list. Top 10 goals for endgame players. Number 1. I'm really skill-based, and you can even see that in my username, WeSkillNow, but I really like giving myself goals and, you know, other people goals to get their skills up. So number 1 is get base 80 skills. I'm looking at my skills. Hey, I've got base 80 skills. I must be an endgame player. Ha, pretty awesome. But yeah, good luck with it. This is personally one of my favorite targets to hit. Base levels. You know, I want to go for base 85 soon, then base 90 after that. There's something about looking at the skills that is really clean in my mind if there's not one that's just like randomly sitting down there at like level 45 rune crafting or something like that. So I suggest this. Go for base 80s. Number 2 is another skill-based one. Get 2,000 total skill. No real reason for that number. It gives you access to a couple of exclusive worlds, but no one really cares about that and whatever. It's just kind of a clean number to get. Get 2,000 total skill. Number 3, maybe there is a pet in the game that you have always wanted. It is possible that you can start hunting it at this point. Now, there are some that you definitely shouldn't go for. If you just got base 80s everything, you know, don't try to grind out the Bloodhound or something. Like, you know, like don't be stupid. If you only have like 80 combat stats, maybe don't grind out a boss pet or something like that. There are certain skill-based ones that anyone can go for, like the Heron, Rocky, the Beaver. Maybe you've got the Slayer level to go after the Kraken. It could be fine, whatever. But if there's a pet that you want, maybe you can consider going for it at this point. I'd put it at number 3. Number 4, you can consider going and getting the music cape. Now, once you've gotten the quest cape, you have unlocked a lot of music, and it'll just be up to going down to the music list and looking at which songs are red and just going to that area. Once you have the music cape and, the quest cape and the fire cape, like, there's honestly not that much work left to be done. And it's a pretty cool cape to go get. Number 5, get yourself an efficient house. Make sure that you've got the ornate pool. Make sure, you've got like a full nexus. Make sure that you have all the rooms set up so that you have all the teleports that you could ever want. The spirit tree fairy ring, the mounted Xerix talisman, all the mounted things that you'd want. It'll be really good to have those things. Like, the player-owned house is an extremely strong asset for any account to have, and you want to be taking advantage of it on a lot of the grinds that you'll go on. Once you get the purple drink in your house, like, you're going to be teleporting home all the time for it. All right, number 6, full PVM gear. Let's put an asterisk on this one. I've got a picture of a twisted bow, but at this point, while recording, that's like 1 billion GPs. So let's take it in steps. And I'm not gonna go into like major detail here, breaking this down, but you're an endgame player. You know how to figure out like what the next step up in your gear is. But look at the combat triangle. You've got the mage, range, melee. Look at what gear you have. Are there upgrades that you can make to particular pieces of it that'll make you better? Eventually max out your combat triangle things. Look at all the Slayer tasks that you might get. Max out the things in each of the Slayer tasks. Like start doing some things efficiently. Get some good gear. And you don't have to do it all at once. This will be a continual process before you're like actually maxed out. But start working on that. Number 7, go grab yourself a diary cape. The diary cape is so awesome. If you get all the elites done, that means you've got some pretty dang high skills and you've done a whole bunch of stuff, and all the rewards that you get from a diary cape, there's so many bonuses, and it's really worthwhile getting a diary cape. The end game list kind of just becomes a cape list. 8, maybe you could consider going for a champion cape. This doesn't like unlock more content for you, but look at that thing. Blue and yellow, that is so cool looking, for real. It's a pretty rare item. It's a very tedious one to get. So this one's completely optional. But if you're just like sick of training Slayer, take a second. Go for the Champion's Cape. You're sick of training, what? Agility. Maybe go for that Champion's Cape. It could be fun. Boom, number 9. Look, it's the Infernal Cape. It's a really hard challenge, but I think that it could be a really satisfying one to finally overcome. Beating Zuck. This falls in line with number 6 of upgrading your PVM gear. If you get an Infernal Cape, it's got some great stats. It's a best in slot. But this is one of those really big challenges that some people just shy away from and never go for. Give it a try. See if you've got what it takes. And if you don't right away, you're not going to have it right away. Learn a thing or two. It'll be really satisfying once you get this thing. I am personally looking forward to going for this. This will be fun. Boom, number 10. How could it be anything but getting the max cape? Now, I talked about there being like big jumps in between the difficulty of these tasks, but this is a pretty big jump. Going for the max cape, all of a sudden, oh man, I gotta get 99 mining, 99 smithing. Don't go for it all at once, you're gonna make a list of things that you need to do, certain skills. This is a huge task that you wouldn't just want to go for all at once. So I'm not going to do it in this video. You're going to have to do this on your own, but break it down into more manageable chunks and go get that max cape. It's a really good cape. And for a lot of people, once they get this item, they finally have beaten RuneScape. But, I mean, there's still more experience to get, right? There's more stuff to do, right? Yes, there is more stuff to do in the game. Now, I'm not necessarily an advocate for a completionist cape, but maybe these are some of the things that you would have to do in order to get the completionist cape. If you're done with this endgame list, I mean, why are you watching me? But there are more things to do, and you know them. But let's think about like the insane goals that you can go for. 200 million experience in every skill. Getting every pet in the game. That's a lot of work. Completing the collection log. Getting the max chompy bird hat. That's a really important one. What is it? Like, it's like the dragon archer hat or something like that. 5 black feathers. You could spend the time getting full Castle Wars equipment. Last Man Standing's got a lot of content. I got myself a Victor Cape 1. Well, then I looked it up and I found out that there's actually a Victor Cape 1,000, which means you have to go and win 1,000 entire games of Last Man Standing. That's like a battle royale PvP minigame. It's ridiculous. But then, like, the whole time that you're competing in Last Man Standing, there's also a rank. So by the time you get to Victor Cape 1,000, you probably would have hit legend status at that point, but go and get legend status in Last Man Standing. There are so many like ridiculous things that you could force a player to do in order to like accomplish a completionist cape. And I'd be willing to bet that I've really barely scratched the surface, but I didn't want to say like ridiculous things. There are tons of hard things that you could suggest below in the comments for other insane goals. And I want to hear them. And you know what? It's okay if they're really stupid and silly. Alright guys, that is it for my top 10 goals for endgame players. Tell me what you thought about them in the comments. How can we make this list better? I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts on that. Now, if you're still watching this video and you haven't subscribed yet, you know what? Come on. Come on. Just take a second, click the subscribe button. I would appreciate it so much, and you would hand me so much credibility. Hey, speaking of handing me credibility, go ahead and follow me on Twitter as well. There are more links in the description for other ways that you can interact with me. Follow me on Twitch. You can watch me live. I usually record these videos live, but this one I've recorded off stream. I also have a Discord and a subreddit. Now, thanks so much for watching the entire video, guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you later.